Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome into the Spiritual View and our Fun Friday Live. I hope you all are doing well. I want to say hi to Sari is with Jen today. If you guys could both give us a wave. Thank you. And Dawn is joining us from across the way. She's out of the country right now. And then we've got Angie with Learn Love Tarot joining us. And of course, I am Wendy. So we're going to be talking today about the new moon energy and how that's been affecting all of us this week. And then kind of after our discussion, it's going to go to Dawn with some with the question we have for her, and then we'll try and get some readings in for you guys. So if you have a question that you want us to address, then please put it in the comments so we can get to you if we have time. All right. So how about you guys? How has this week been for everybody? It's been kind of crazy for me. How about you guys?
Busy for me this week. So it hasn't really been a bad week, but I mean, just swamped with just so much stuff happening.
Yeah. It's been wackadoodles for me.
Yeah.
and not just my energy, but just the energy in general. And just even to the way people are driving, it's just been kind of wackadoodles. That's the only way I can describe it.
I can't believe you said that. That's so funny.
And maybe it's coming back to my home state, because Jen and I grew up in towns right next to each other. Our high schools were rival high schools.
Wow.
So I'm at her house right now. So I flew across the country to be with her.
Oh, I said the same thing. I was like, what in the French toast is happening with people on the road? I'm like, are your eyes missing? I was like, what is like just weirder than normal? People are always weird when they drive, but that's definitely part of the moon energy and the shifts every couple and a half days. And then it's traffic, I swear, is affected because it's whether you have the patience, people's patience levels, their awareness goes up and down, right? So, and I was just like such a weird, everybody thought they were on the road by themselves. I don't know about your experience. But normally people are pretty okay here. It's not like, anything crazy like the Autobahn, where you're just, flying with your ass on fire. But it was just literally like people were like, la, 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 literally no idea of anybody around them. It was just like they're in their own little worlds, and there was no traffic around them. But I noticed the same thing, and I was laughing like that because I'm like, I was yelling in my car, like, what is going on with people?
We are in eclipse energy as of now.
Oh, that's right.
So I think you're getting some of that kind of blended in with what's going on with people. And it's going to affect some people more than others. And you got to remember, Pisces is one of those things that's being lit up with that moon in Pisces. So because that's the energy and it's the eclipse and it's already affecting us now and it's near Neptune, that kind of like, wake up, come on, the confusion, then like not really there, not being in touch, just more of that kind of energy. It wouldn't be surprising because we do have a very strong, it's 25 degrees in Pisces coming up. So that would be where the moon is located at. And then you have Virgo, on the other side where the sun is. And so you have to think of where you have placements and what's at 25 degrees of anything for you. And that always helps when you're figuring out how it's going to affect you and what houses those things are in for you. So those are the things that I would look at first when I'm looking at what might be coming up for a person, because it's fated energy. It's what you are going to be getting and how you deal with that. I was reading a card today. How you deal with fate is how you set your destiny, because you do have free will with how you deal with something. And you can then change that to your advantage. That's why with the astrology, it's kind of nice to surf the waves of the astrology and just make it more comfortable for you as much as possible. Like, okay, how can I offset this energy if Mars is involved with this in my natal chart with this full moon? Okay, number one, you need to expend energy. You need to get good grounding. And if you can offset some of the energy of Mars, then it's not going to be like combustion going off. You will have done a release valve in order to get some of that tension out of what Mars could be for you in that area of your chart, how it's being affected. It just gives you a better outcome for what's coming up.
And we're going to be, is in Cancer for a really long time. It's not, it's not normally in the same sign for that an extended period of time like that. So that's going to be really, that's an odd part of history. It doesn't really happen like that either. And I did have 25 Pisces written down for the full moon, that I'm like, oh yeah, that part too. I got my Mars is 25 degrees Cancer in my Pisces house. How?
Oh,
Yeah. So it definitely, and Mars is considered a personal planet. It's how you energy get you going. What gets you out of bed in the morning. It helps you accomplish your goals. All of those things. Yeah. And
well, it's interesting, Dawn. I did the intention setting, and thank you for that. The one with Hecate. And the thing that just came out of my brain was, I want to set an intention to release judgment and judging others, and to become an observer. And with the cray going on and the wackadoodles going on, it's so easy to go into a place of fear, but also to go into a place of judging situations or people when we don't really understand what's going on. And we may not know, we may not have asked, or we may not have all the information. So I have really tried this week to release the need to judge, and the need to move in or shift into observation, because you go into such a beautiful kind of divine neutrality, and it helps you not get triggered in situations. And I've been with family all week, so it's been cray wackadoodles, triggering. And this has been kind of my salvation this week. And I find myself really opening up to being an observer, and it's very powerful, but it's not easy to do.
And it is a protection, actually, for you, if you're doing it from that observer point of view. And you'll hear Pam Gregory talk about that, people that listen to her. It's very much about, and I actually had a lot of card readings come out like that. When you are not participating in fear, not participating in anger, and there are things that are going to come out. Truth is going to come out on different things. I don't know what it is, but Pluto is going to, when it backs up into Capricorn, is going to be showing the truth about banking systems and the government systems and any other kind of big system like corporations. There's going to be a lot of news that's going to be coming forward. And it's probably enough that's going to make us really angry. However, if you can step out of that and say, okay, this has happened. I would have made a different decision if I would have known about this, but I have to deal with things from where they are now. And when you don't give in to the anger and you don't start arguing with other people about it, even if people agree with you, you're just like preaching to the choir back and forth. You're in a silo, right? Doing all of that, just getting louder and louder. And that really is bad energy. And not having fear about what's going to happen in the future, because there's so many people who, once they take the fear and the anger out of what their behaviors are, it's a protection for them, and they don't get what the rest of the collective is having to learn. It's a protection for you. Is it easy? No, because there's people, I rolled my eyes so many times, I get headaches because of the dumb things that come out. And I'm like, you just said that, it's just like one of those things where you're like, I can't believe they just said that. But then you kind of just step back and go, okay, not my monkey, not my zoo, not my yeah. Right? So it is, Sari, it is a protection really to have that standing back. And it's like, to me, I kind of go, okay, they're going to take another turn on this merry-go-round, where other people are going to be moving on to this ascension level where, And I got this as a galactic thing too. It was more of all this stuff coming in, all this energy coming in. It was a very galactic feeling to me in one of my readings it's going to be coming out. And I did really get that energy from the cards, that it's very much out there. And we are receiving, number one, we are going through, we're in the lane of getting all that energy from the galactic center. So we're getting that stream coming in. We're getting the solar flares that are coming in. We're in a strong time of solar flares. The protection around the earth is at a lower level for that kind of electric energy. So that's why people are seeing more northern lights, like in Florida, which normally wouldn't get them. I live in southern Minnesota. I rarely saw the northern lights, and all of a sudden it's like, this is like a weekly thing now. So I think you have to realize how much energy there is out there, and we are going to need to get rid of some of that energy, any kind of movement, and also to do grounding in different ways for ourselves. I noticed that someone did ask a question about, Pluto is in the 7th house for them. And I believe, I just want to double check who that was. Kaylee, Spiritual Warrior. What if you have planets, especially that are going to be getting in that late degree of Capricorn, something in that area of your chart, or something that is in late degree Cancer? Yes, you can feel the energy of that. And how you need to look at it is, with Pluto being in that 7th house, that's a relationship with an other. That's one-on-one relationship with an other person. It could be an enemy. That's a one-on-one. It could be a contract. It could be a friend. Anything that's a one-on-one relationship. Now, the 1st house is about self. So are you, Pluto being the 7th house of Pluto being about control, and if you have something in the 1st house, is there some kind of control issue you're having with another person that's affecting whatever personal planet would be in the 1st house? So if that's your sun or your moon or something, I would say there's a control issue going on with someone. Now, if you don't have a planet in those particular areas of your chart, I'm more concerned with the conjunctions, because they're more powerful than anything when it comes to Pluto. With everybody else, it's going to be a matter of where Pluto is in their chart. What house is that for them? There's going to be a lot of things that are getting cleaned up. So think of it, whatever house it's going back into, there's some things that need to be finished up regarding that. Maybe they're in the middle of a divorce and they're going back in and getting that paperwork finished. They're finishing something up. That's the energy that I'm getting from this Capricorn at 29 degrees, the very, very end of Capricorn. So, and it's something that probably started sooner, but you have to remember, this is the 3rd time Pluto has gone back into Capricorn. It never does it this many times. So it's unheard of ground for people. So it's always for your greatest and highest good. It can be an awful mess. But when you know that you're getting the energy that it's going to be, and I've been getting this in the messages, I don't, if you guys too, with your cards, that whatever's going to be happening, it's going to be a mess in the future. We're all going to be okay. We're going to be fine. Angie, did you have anything else that you wanted to mention about Pluto?
Yeah, I've been, my poolside reading has been a book about Pluto, and when my live last night I was talking about it. It's called Hody Do. The Pluto, the Evolutionary Journey of the Soul. It's by Green. This certain publication was in 88. The 88 has been coming up a lot, number in particular. And I was just like, oh. So his theory is that he's likening Pluto to the soul. Okay, so we all have a soul. Everybody has the soul's journey. We've heard MJ talk about, we hear everybody talk, every single lifetime we incarnate into a different meat suit, but we still bring those inherent We still bring those inherent patterns with us every single lifetime, but then the meat suit's different, and then the personality's different with how it interacts. And his explanation was that we come with these inherent patterns of the soul. So in your birth chart, where Pluto is, that shows you what patterns that you've brought with you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. The opposite, right? Because the sister sign always has something we need, and we always have something for the sister sign. So across the hallway, look at your own personal birth chart and look across the hallway, because that is what your soul's intent is this lifetime. And I was like, oh my gosh, because when I look at it that way, I'm coming in with Pluto 29 degrees in Virgo in my third house of communication, because I've always been thinking, well, what lessons do I have left to learn there? Because I mean, I've been talking since my mom claims that since I came out, and like literally before I should have been talking, like having full on conversations with random strangers. Like, so that, okay, I guess because it's 29 degrees, I've done that a lot. That's my inherent pattern. But then when I look across the hallway to the ninth house, travel, moving and living in New Zealand, astrology and philosophy. I had my reading done by Suri, and it was incredible. And if I can share, just like one of my past lives, like was in being a philosopher and being in a student of that happening in that time, also of astrology, of other cultures. And I'm like, that's my goal, that's my plan of my soul this lifetime. And I felt so much better, because I'm like, okay, I'm hitting milestones, but I just had never seen it in that way. So I really saw what he was talking about. And it is very wordy. So just in case, if you want a nice light read, this book is not it. And I love my words. I do. I can use them like the best of them, but it's very, very dense. So while I find that fascinating, not a lot of people may, but I just thought, like, the intent, the opposing house, guys. So when you're looking at your Pluto in your chart, whatever method you use for that, look across the hallway, because that's where your is intended, where they want you to grow. That's where the 180 flip is coming. That's where the biggest growth, because we only ever get to experience a few energies of Pluto our entire lifetime. We just spent 16 years in Capricorn. We all here got to experience that. Obviously, we're older than 16 years old. But then for the next 20 years, we get to experience another one, right? So depending on how long we live, we only have those 3, 4, maybe 5. I mean, that's if I'm planning on living to 108. I don't know about you all, but that is across the hallway. I'm like, that makes so much more sense. It just felt right. And I was like, but I feel like I've already done this third house thing. I feel like I've already, and so it was kind of confusing. Well, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? But then when he explained it that way, this is your inherent patterns of the soul. And then, so ourselves, our need to be different, our need to explore the meat suit and those different personalities. But then the other across the hallway is when we're one with our source. We get it. So that just blew me away. And I talked about last night about seeing a cardinal swim across the pool as I was reading it, and I got Casey Musgrave's song Cardinal, and she says, what messages from the other side do you have to tell me? And I was like, what does that have to do anything with Pluto? But then it was like the lemniscape. What messages from the other side of your Pluto do you have to bring me? And it was just like, and it was it's a really, really good book, but I will warn you, it's not light reading. You have to have a good understanding of astrology to kind of power through it. You have to know what you're reading, but it is fantastically interesting. Yeah, nerd alert. Sorry, I got excited. Get excited about those.
You want to tell us the name of that book and the author again for those who just came?
Yes, it is Pluto, The Evolutionary Journey of the Soul. And it's by Green. And I think it was first published in 87 or 86, but the edition I have is 88, which I thought was weird too, because it had been coming up so much this week already.
Right. Well, isn't 88 a 7? And for me, it made me think of the birth chart and like the 7th house. And you opened up with Pluto talking about it being in the 7th house for someone. And then the opposite of that is the 1st house, which is self, you know. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool.
8 and 8, yeah, because that's a 16, which is Tower,
Right,
which is Change, which is then a 7 of the Chariot. Yes.
Very cool.
And Sari just said her word was like she wanted to release judgment. And my notes today I had 20s everywhere, which is the judgment card. And then Dawn just said, as long as or being like an observer, one of you guys, like, I want to be curious it's about being the observer. And the Sabian symbol, as we move into the moon and Scorpio PCT, just for you, Sari, is at 10:19 p.m., which is a 19 plus 1, that's another 20. And then the Sabian symbol is curiosity, and it's a bus of seekers. It's a bus of travelers just sightseeing, observing. And I was like, no way, she just said that. So, really and cool. I wrote down like the wheels of the bus. I haven't even published these yet today, but it's like the wheels of the bus go round and round. And I wrote down, I don't even know why, it's a 20-year cycle. And I put question mark because I don't even know why I write the crap I do. It just comes out. And then I always figure it out later, but I got 20, 20, 20. The whole Sabian symbol for Scorpio 1 is curiosity. We're moving away from our past, and we're motivated by curiosity for a greater experience. So observe is the name of the game here, I think.
Well, it's funny you mentioned
watch everybody else drive like lunatics.
Judgments come up a lot in readings for me recently, not just the card, which has too, but also just in talking with people and them saying like, well, I feel like you're not judging me, you know, like, or like I went to somebody else and I felt a lot of judgment. So I'm getting a reading from you because I feel like, you know, you're not judging me for the things I'm saying. And I'm like, yeah, you're not going to get any judgment here. It's like, you know, life is hard, you know, and we're all just
we're all messy. We are all messy.
Exactly. Life is messy and it's difficult. And you know, and especially with matters of the heart, you know, it's like, you're not going to get any judgment from me. It's like, we don't really choose who we love. We just do, you know, love just comes out, and it's not always, you know, who you want it to be. And, but there's not going to be any judgment there. But yeah, it's come up a lot. It's come up a lot for me. So I think that's it, but just in kind of a different way, but still related. So yeah.
I get Hecate energy with that, which is she is the goddess of the crossroads. She's the goddess of the dark moon. So that would be who we ask in service of sending our intentions forward. Selene is the full moon, and Artemis is the goddess of the crescent moon. So when you look at those different energies, but Hecate for me is becoming, every time I see judgment, it makes me think of her. She is the goddess of the keys. She is the goddess of crossroads. She's the goddess that lights the way. I know that she is the goddess of witches, but for me, I get a lot more from her from this other parts of her, that she was the one that helped save Persephone. She was friends with her mother. And so she went in search of the daughter, and she is one of the few that has the keys so she can get up to where the gods are and down to where Hades is. So she has keys to all the different realms and can help you But when you see her, you know that you're going to be at a crossroads in your life. And it's usually not two pathways. It's usually more than one that you're seeing come up for you, because it's a crossroads, and crossroads are like this, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things that I think about when I see the Judgment card, because I think everybody's coming to a point where they're going to have to make a decision on how you're going to deal with things. And that is free will.
Yep.
Always. So I think taking that energy forward, and again, that's what I've been getting a lot of. It's like, okay, you got to let go of these relationships that are holding you back, the devil energy, where you've given your power over to someone else, or there's some kind of strings attached to what's going on. And you have to cut those off. And because you can't get anywhere with those tying you down. So you have to utilize that energy of going a different path, because the path that you've been on hasn't been working.
Right. But like every new path, it's like, I often say to people, it's like, there's no wrong answer. Like whatever path you choose, that's the path you're supposed to be going on, because that's the path you chose. So whatever lesson lies on that path, that's what was meant for you, you know? So it's like, and only you can decide which path is right. And, you know, and even if you think you're deciding no path, you're still choosing a path. It's still, you know, you're still moving forward.
Yeah.
So, you know,
No choice is still a choice.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a card in here that says no wrong turns.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. And if
That's
you know,
super
and if you feel like you're circling back and you're doing the same lesson again, it's like, well, it's because you didn't learn what you needed to the first time. So that's why you're repeating it. So maybe, you know, and if you notice that you're repeating it, that gives you the opportunity to really kind of step back and take a look and maybe notice some new details, maybe notice some new signs, you know, things, and you will handle it differently, and you know, and that will create the change, and it might be just enough change that takes you onto your next path, you know. So yeah,
Every path has new information. That's where I like to tell people. I mean, just every choice you're going to get information, and no emotions need to be attached to that. It's information that you didn't have before. So.
Right. It's like watching a movie over and over again, right? If you have like a favorite movie, and it's like every time you watch it, you notice new things about it. You notice little details that you didn't notice the last time, you know?
Yeah, that's
and
a
so you get
great
something
way
else
to
out of
explain
it,
it.
you know? Yeah, until you move on to the next thing. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Authentic. Well, you've said that, Donna, and then Cerise started with traffic here, and I have like a little car on the pathway. Are we going left or right here? And that Sabian symbol's all about life always presents two fundamental choices. Authenticity versus some sense of falsity on some level. Like, it's comfortable. I've been here before, but it's comfortable. So, but that's still false, right? If we make that same path as what you're saying, we're still going to pick up more information and see the movie and pick it up along the way. But there is no, wrong path. It just might take some of us more time than others to pick up all of the things that maybe one person saw during the first time they watched the movie. It might take us 3 or 4 times to watch the same movie, and that doesn't make it wrong. We might drive down the same dang road 500 times. You're like, well, I've never noticed that before. That is strange. You know what I mean? But we've driven that same path to work or wherever 500 times. So I find this amazingly fascinating, just this conversation. And it's just always so cool how everything comes back around. And with the Hecate, Sri was talking about that too, mentioning the incantation, I think you said, or sending an intention. And the new moon was the bride with her veil snatched off of Hades coming up in his chariot and taking Persephone down. And I did not know that Hecate was the mom, or the person not the mom, that's Demeter, but was the person who went down and found her. I mean, just how that's so weird, right? Is that weird? It's it's no coincidence. I don't think. That is like total geek out mode over here on this end. So just so y'all know.
Well, I think we're ready to start transitioning over to pulling cards. So, Dawn, were you going to pull?
Sure. Angie, do you want to do some number magic with your?
Or do you want me to start first?
I think Marie can go first.
I can go first. I've got a question, and so I'm going to do, and that way you can get prepared. All right, Monique, where are you? Happy birthday! So we're going to wish Monique a happy birthday. I think you're back on because we lost you for a little bit.
Happy birthday!
Yeah. So she asked a question, and it's how are the shifts going to affect me? So I pulled some cards, and so Jen and I are going to do this together. She's going to be Vanna showing the cards, but I just pulled, Monique, a few tarot cards and a couple of oracle cards for you. And the first is, which archangel is around you now? And so I'm going to ask if Jen could hold the card. And this is Archangel Jophiel. And it says, act with wisdom, use information for the highest good. Archangel Jophiel is the angel of wisdom and appears in a glowing pale yellow light. His etheric retreat is in the mountains of the northern part of China near the Great Wall, and he overlooks Asia. He's responsible for the development of the crown chakra. So, first message, Monique, you may be seeing or feeling some crown chakra activation here. You may be seeing the color purple or violet. And so be on the lookout for those kind of feelings, sensations. It says every facet of your crown chakra contains a light code for your ascension. In addition, a thread from each facet connects directly to great energies of the cosmos, such as the star of the ascension flame. Archangel Jophiel triggers these links when you are ready and helps you to understand and integrate the knowledge and wisdom that you receive. So this is your first message. You've got a very powerful archangel around you right now that is activating your ascension process through your crown chakra. And it's a card of wisdom and knowledge and gathering information. So Archangel Jophiel is calling upon you to ask him for guidance, for wisdom, for knowledge as you look at these energy shifts and what's coming for you over the coming months. That was your first message. Message number 2 is from the Angel Guide. Thank you, Jen. I'm going to pay her after this. And your card is forgiveness and understanding. As soon as you read or see the word forgiveness, you'll know where this energy is needed in your life. Forgiveness is a correction to human vision and an opportunity to see through the eyes of the soul. That's what we've been talking about, the eyes of the soul. And ultimately, it gives us an idea of what it's like to see through the eyes of our angels. Whatever the situation has been for you, whether it's been heavy on your heart, when this card appears, your angel guide is helping you and inviting you to release whatever you're holding on to. You are not being asked to accept this behavior or accept bad behavior or let it go, but to realize that the only person who's truly being affected by your thoughts and feelings is you. So part of this is forgiveness of others and understanding and compassion. Sometimes it might be, Monique, forgiving yourself. And so the question that Spirit has for you is, there something that you need to release or want to release related to forgiveness of self or forgiveness and understanding of another person that perhaps has wronged you as you go into this birthday week? So I pulled some tarot cards, and this is a doozy. So your first card out, I love it. We make a great team. It's the Lover's card. This is a Light Seer's deck. This is what you don't see coming. So somewhere around your birthday, you've got some choices. And, this is Gemini energy. So you could be having a choice of somebody coming back around, a relationship that you need to make a decision. So you've, like Dawn talked about, the crossroads. You're at a crossroads of some sort of decision. And the 3 cards that came out The first one was the King of Wands. This is a beautiful energy of passion, of leadership. And this could actually be a person that could be entering your life. I didn't anticipate a love reading, but it looks like it could be a new relationship coming in, passionate, strong, a leader. And hey, welcome it. The second card that came out is the Wheel of Fortune. It's a number 10 card. So there's something fated and destined that's coming either with this King of Wands or this energy that is coming for you with these energy shifts. So it's really positive, and you can't make this up. You got to let the universe bring what it's going to bring. And it's also a card of divine timing. So you're going to have some kind of choice, but you've got the Lover's card, you've got King of Wands, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune that is, moving ahead, divine timing, divine progress. So I can't wait to see if something pops up around your birthday week in the energy that brings in this new relationship. And the last message is around the Nine of Wands. If it's someone that you know, or there's a situation that you are faced with a choice, Nine of Wands can be one of two energies. Can be the wounded warrior, or it can be I'm moving into unknown territory and I'm a little bit anxious about it. So though you might have some anxiety, I think Spirit is telling you, I'm going to pull one last card for you. Spirit's last message. In the Nine of Wands energy, if Monique is feeling this or feeling uncomfortable, what does she need to do? Look at this. 10 of Cups. The ultimate in fulfillment of happy family and wishes fulfilled. And so this is just a really beautiful energy of love of family, love of relationships, love of life. So last, advice with this card is make sure you're in your heart center and you're opening yourself up to receive these beautiful gifts that want to come your way. All right, Monique, happy birthday.
All right, so up next, we're going to have Dawn.
Oh, I'm for Shannon. And I had pulled some to start with her energy in it, and then I'll pull some tarot after I go through these a little bit. I really feel strongly that there's an energy of that Libra South node as part of this for you. Because I got listen, in stillness, you meet your true self. And everybody should be paying attention to this, because usually this seems to be a bigger message for the greater collective here. It's that connection that you're making when you are, not in fear, not in anger. And what is it that's important to you? I think we're all going to be asked that question, because we're all going to be facing those different decisions coming up. And then it has your greatest joy pollinates the world. Everybody that's involved in this journey has a special gift that part of it is you're discovering what that is. And I think that's why we need to be in that stillness more, so that we can connect with what that is. And you will be getting messages. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming in. Look for synchronicities, look for all of those things, because, and ask for guidance from your guides. Ask for guidance from your ancestors for your greatest and highest good. And you will be guided down the paths that are for you. And the last one that came up as the oracle cards is you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I feel like there's a lot of people that have been burnt out. They're just at the edge of their rope. They give and they give and they give and they give. That's why I felt like it was very that Libra South node energy, where all of these toxic relationships have just taken their toll. And you it's like you don't have any oomph left to give. It's like, I get the sense of being in the energy of all this really anger and happiness thing. And you're not that kind of a person. So it takes its toll on your energy in a big way. It's like being battered away in a big storm that's affecting your aura, I feel like. So you do have to take that time out, that quiet time, I really feel, and let the joy of things that you really love come through, and milk that feeling of what brings you joy, what you're going towards. And I think what I'm going to do now is, for you, Shannon, I'm going to pull some tarot here just for you. But I think the other message was kind of for us all, because I think we're all facing that coming through. So does Shannon have some volunteers? These were all bathed in the moon in Poland before I started using these. Oops, we had some jump out. Okay. I think you've been in stuck energy. This, fear of missing out, that, okay, I will tell you that I've done this myself. When you feel like, I want my gifts to open up, I know I've got more. But it's not time yet. So that is one of the things that I think you need to look at is, you need to work with, it's like, okay, learn how to ride the bicycle, and then you can get in the car, and then you can go get your other gift, because you need to take the time to learn the lessons of moving and progressing. And sometimes you have to master something at a certain level before you're ready to go on to something higher. And the other part to that is living and enjoying the moment. Those moments that you can find that just give you peace, whether it's drinking a great cup of tea in the morning and just being solely immersed in the now. That's a beautiful way of almost doing an intention for yourself. And it's a way of the only moments that we can change is the moment that we're in right now. So if you take whatever opportunity that you have to bring you peace, that's going to help build up your energy for all these things that are kind of bombarding you out there. So I would say, make sure that you, every moment of peace and happiness that you come across, revel in it. And let me pick the last card here. Look at this, the World. There are endings coming, and we're going to have a bit of a mess, but everything is working for our greatest and highest good. It's not about the energy of, okay, it's going to get destroyed and we're going to build it all back. We're going to be building something brand new. So this is the World card. The wheel card. So it's divine timing. And I will tell you, I know people hate that phrase, divine timing. The thing with divine timing is a lot of it relies on you. You have to have learned the lesson that divine timing is bringing you in order for the other thing to come in. So you have to learn that lesson. You have to do something first. There has to be something that you accomplish. And then divine timing is like, okay, they're ready. Now it's time. Now. But it's a lot of times not just something that, I'm just waiting around for it, not doing a thing. No, there's an action that you have to complete. There's some lesson that you have to learn and be done with. And then the divine timing takes place, because you can delay something out a long way if you are still being tied to something else that you should have been releasing. So I hope that helped. I hope that you are going to be enjoying in whatever way possible the eclipse energy. And my best advice for the eclipse energy is accept it, roll with it. Accept it, roll with it. So I hope that helps. And I don't know who's next. I'll let Jen take over.
All right, so I will actually be up next. But before I get started, we're going to get Angie ready. So you were going to do your dice to choose your person.
Yeah,
so
if somebody just wants to, if you want any number 1 through 9, if you want to put that in the comments, I'm happy to. That's just going to be a whatever comes out. So it doesn't have to be a specific question. It'll just be, if I roll your number, then I will just give you cards, whatever comes out. But I did want to gleefully say, with Suri got the Wheel of Fortune, Dawn got the Wheel of Fortune. This is a double 5 energy today, because today is a 5 day of the Hierophant. The salve to that is the Hierophant. The salve to that is Temperance energy. So it's even though we might seem like we're just sitting here shooting the shit and chatting, you got to go back and watch the movie again. There's something that you missed in the same movie, and we are at a divine white point. And I saw somebody saying, I'm confused, I don't know which path to take, right? That's the point. That's the point, is that discernment energy. And there are a lot of 20s. There are a lot of twos all week. Two of swords, two of pentacles, two of wands. Everything's like decision time. We are at that point in the energy. And with the change here, we've got 27 degrees, 14, the energy of temperance again, which is a 5, with that Mercury squaring Uranus. I have a whole list of every time that's squared, and I wrote down 2021 ? Which is a 5. And I got it back to August 3rd of 2021 was the last time we had the Hierophant temperance energy. And that, in addition, that was at 14 degrees 41 of Mercury and Leo squaring Taurus and Uranus. So if that date, for anybody here that's on this call now, go back and look, because I feel like it's tied back to there. So I just love that you guys are pulling the 10 and the Wheel of Fortune. And I also wrote the wheels on the bus, and that's all I wrote because my kids are grown and I don't remember the rest of that. The wheels, the bus, something. Sorry. I go around it. But yes, sorry, Jen. I was just like, same cards. Okay, sorry.
Okay. All right. So I have pulled, let's see, let me get situated here again. I pulled for Shar, and let me find her question. Okay. So your twin flame. My twin flame said that they met someone and wanted me to know, but nothing has happened yet. Blah, blah, blah. My question, is this a definite he is moving on without me, and what's the outcome? So I pulled from the Romance Angel Oracle first, and the first card I pulled is the chemistry card. So it is chemistry that he's feeling with this person, and then pay attention to the red flags, and true love came out in reverse. So I feel like that this is just a fling for him. It's not something serious for him. But with the tarot, I pulled, the first card I pulled is the Hierophant, and this is what the situation is. And so it's really, I'm thinking that it's asking you how committed you are to this journey. So can you still, experience the love in this journey and watch him be with someone else? Do you still understand, that you have that connection, even if you're not in physical union? So are you still committed to the journey? We have, the Queen of Pentacles was the why, because you still need to work on taking care of yourself and not being so dependent on someone else to provide your worth. And then we also have the advice was the Empress. And so I just really feel like that right now you're being given an opportunity to just really stand in your feminine energy, that receptive energy, and not let this shake you. I mean, I really think that that's the part that just see it for what it is. This is part of the twin flame mission. I've had so many conversations this week with twin flame readings, and this seems sorry, I'm getting confused here looking at that and trying to think what I'm thinking. But I've had so many twin flame readings this week where this seems to be the situation. And if you haven't watched the Soulful Revolution MJ's twin flame reading this week, oh my goodness,
was great.
It was powerful. And I feel like that is so spot on to the energy that I've been feeling. So if you haven't watched that, I just please go watch that.
Yeah.
But I've been telling everybody, just you need to understand what the twin flame mission really is, so that when this stuff happens, you're not getting all over the place with your emotions with it. This is very typical. And what I'm seeing is it's not really a true love for him, but it is a lesson for you. All right. So up next, we're going to have Angie. Let's see what I do. Okay. Are you ready, Angie?
pull my number, which was a 1. So I can certainly roll again, or I can have them put them in the put comments in while somebody else goes. It's a 1 again. So 1 is the loneliest number, apparently. So if somebody else
Wendy
wants
ready?
to go, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, Wendy.
Yeah, I can go. I pulled some cards for Kieran, I believe. So yeah, there it is. Okay. So I don't know what your question is, so I just asked for any message that wanted to come through, whatever message you need to come through for you today. And first I got time, which is a 41 card, and it's about discipline. And 41 is a 5, so talking about change. And it says, find out the causes of your procrastination or resistance. Do not miss your opportunities. Someone is wasting your time. Be aware of this. You have finite time on this planet, so use it well. Okay. And I'm going to go into the next cards, and then I'll show you how it all kind of ties together. So the next card I got was the equator, to make equal 5. It's the 5 card. Again, we're talking about change. And it says, find the balance in your life. Equality among people is a worthy goal. You are worth it. Do not compare yourself to others, as this is a useless task that only leads to unhappiness. There can be a happy medium. There doesn't have to be an extreme reaction all the time, right? So really finding your balance there. So going through a lot of change, right? Having the discipline to figure out why you're hesitant to move forward on some things, figuring out what you need to let go of, how you need to move forward, really goes along with some of that new moon energy that we had, right? Where you have the releasing and letting go and moving forward. And then this next card that I pulled was plants and growth. Okay. So you need to grow from all of this. So magic is in everyday things. You can make something from nothing. Blossom. It's time. From small things, big things might grow. Begin it. So you need to start taking that next step. But in order to get ready to take that next step, right, you got to figure out where things lie. How do you want to spend your time? What do you want to be doing? I've been getting this message a lot for like at least the last month. I've gotten this over and over again of, really thinking about how do you want to spend your time moving forward, because life is finite and it's precious, and we waste a lot of time. We waste a lot of time doing things that we don't care about, that we think that we have to do for other people, and we don't spend a lot of time in the present and thinking about what it is that we really want to be doing, setting those goals. Manifestation is just setting goals. Okay. So when you're manifesting what you want in your future, you're setting goals. They don't magically happen. You have to create it, right? So you are taking steps by manifesting, by setting the goal. That's your first step, right? You're creating the goal. Then you have to go through the process of figuring out, how do I, manage this path to reach that goal? And that's, clearing out the things that no longer serve you, clearing out the things that are a waste of your time, that, that aren't going to help you to reach that goal. And then finding the things that you do need to do and really moving towards them. And that journey always starts within yourself, of figuring out, how to create that balance within yourself, and that will really help guide you into where you need to go. And then I pulled a card from another deck for just kind of an underlying message, and I got, use your time well, make every moment count. Okay. So the message is very strong coming through. It's like, you don't want to be wasting any more time, and you don't want to let other people waste your time. So really think about what it is you want, really focus on that goal, really focus on what you're manifesting, so that you can reach that goal and get there, because there's like all of these other distractions and things that are happening around you, and you're giving way too much energy and time to those distractions and those other things that really aren't important. So I would say really try to find your focus, get rid of those things that don't serve you, set it aside so that you can focus your time and find your balance to move forward, and then take that step. And then once you start doing, and each step that you take, it'll start moving faster and faster to you reaching that goal. Okay. I hope that helps. And Angie, are you seeing any numbers yet from people?
Yes, so we got a 6. That lovers card has been coming out like crazy just the last few days in the readings. Even when I was like, okay, I'm not reading about love today. I just want to help people with whatever question, with whatever crossroads they're at. And it was literally all 10 of Cups over and over and over again, which I think came out tonight. I don't know who pulled that. Maybe, yeah, over and over again. And lovers keeps coming. I'm like, what? Because it was so dormant for such a long time, and then now it's coming out like crazy again. So Kelvin, the 6 is the realm of ambivalence, and this is the overarching theme here, and the faculty or the talent or skill that you will need to refer to your question today, whatever that may be, is that something has come to a standstill. It's well entrenched and stagnant, so a change needs to happen because it's on page 23, another 5, which is the number of change. So I love Jen pulled the 5, you pulled that 14, like that's just, or the 41, which is the mirror image of what I just said about that August date in 21. It was a 1441. So, and then you guys just like, it's so weird. But anywho, I love that. So this realm suggests a problem of duality. Disunity and disharmony has arisen. You must find out whether the ambiguity and confusion prevailing stems from your language and how you're using your words. So if you feel like, Kelvin, you're saying the same thing over and over again, or you're just not getting anywhere with a conversation with someone, especially in partnership with that 6, you got to figure out a different way to say it. Okay. And that's just channeling here, different from this message here. You got to figure out a way to say it. If you are kind of circling around and not saying what will make you happy, you're just kind of talking around an issue. You need to say specifically what will bring you happiness. You can't just dance around it. If you want a relationship with this person, you got to ask. Put on your emperor or empress hat, put it on, and say exactly what you want. But do you know what that is? Okay. And I'm feeling like a little momish here. I don't even know how old you are, but I'm feeling little mom energy towards you. So I kept wanting to point my finger like, do you know what that is, Kelvin? So if you're not being clear with this person, like it feel like you really do, they are making you happy. They are your 9 of Cups. They will bring you joy. You want them to be in your 10 of Cups, but you're not saying it. Okay, you've got to actually say what you want. If you're going for the girl, you got to say it. Okay, or going for your person, you've got to say what that is and why they make you happy. Okay, what da just say on the bottom of the deck, both archangels coming out here. There is Archangel Michael. He leads the soul's journey, the soulmate journey. He's that root. He's the connectedness of many things. If you feel like this is a deep tie soul connection, I mean, he's got a big heart on right there in front of his down low there with that big red heart. You've got to say it. Okay. You've got, okay, you're 24. Double that. So, and in a bag of change. So I feel the need here. Like if I was saying this to you, like right and real, this is the same advice I'd give you person to person. You're not saying it. You're holding back here. I don't know if you're intimidated by this person. We've got a 10, funny enough, with this card that flipped in the deck. So that Wheel of Fortune energy, this can turn the conversation for you. Okay. You've got to, what is that movie? I don't even know these cartoons. Where is this coming up? Kiss the Girl. Is it a turtle? What is that, you guys? I don't, my kids are 25 and up to 30, so I don't even know what that is. But that's just what popped in my head, a turtle singing. Ask somebody with little kids. But first, Archangel, this is in the energy. This is around, you want this. You can't hot foot it. You can't go back and forth. My advice here is just simple. You have to say it. You're waiting. There is no right time, honey. Like it's as a we're at a divine Y point. You gotta make a decision. Let me get some, okay. I mean, I'm just going to keep getting the same thing. The garden and the gate. Are you going to stay inside where you're comfortable? There's a key around your neck. We just talked about Hecate that went down and tried to find Miss Persephone when the new moon has swallowed up and taken her down. Maybe you're minding your own business. You think she's minding her own business. You gotta go. What is that turtle? He keeps coming in my head. You've got to take the key off your neck and open the dang gate. You're never going to know until you know. You just waiting for, there is no right time. Okay. You will know when the time is right. You will feel it. I feel like you've hesitated in the past. There was right times in the past. It doesn't matter if she feels the same or not. Does that change your feelings for her? It doesn't, right? Like you like who you like. We love who we love. We talked about that at the top of the conversation for a reading. We're not, like I said, this is all for the benefit. We're talking about these, seemingly silly things, the turtle coming in. I don't even know what the frick that is. Like I haven't had kids in the house for a long time, but it's like kiss the girl. Like you have to go for it. Put on that Empress energy, go for it. Okay. It doesn't matter whether or not what her feelings are. You still have to express yourself. Are you going to regret at the end of the day that you didn't say anything at all ever? And then if you do say something and it's not the result you want, that's okay, because you're building up you're learning how to do this, right? You got to express it. You got to say what you want. You got to decide what you want, and look at the look on her face. Like she's like, should I? Like the eyes, oh, I don't know. Yes. You got to say something. If that's what makes you happy, you are not, it's going to keep plaguing on you, right? No matter what the response is, never base your own feelings. Well, I don't know how she feels, so therefore it doesn't change your feelings though, right? You still feel what you feel. No matter how they feel, you still feel that. You got to trust that energetic frequency. And there's the opposite of the lover's energy there with the 15. That's fear. Okay. And in this card, it's appreciation. Just tell her everything you like about her. Okay. Even though this character is standing amongst bramble and bushes and just weeds and chaos, she is holding the hanky because that beautiful rose has pricked her finger and made her bleed. It's the double-edged sword of the truth. It's scary, but the rewards of that are so great. You're looking at but I don't know how she feels side and the fear side, but on the other side of that, it's a rose. It's beautiful. Okay. I can tell, I can feel you. I can feel it from all over from here. That's why I'm doing my little teacher voice to you. You've got to, this is part of your journey here. It doesn't matter how she feels. This journey for you, this lesson is, I'm expressing what I need to say to somebody. And if it's just a compliment, if it's just, this is genuine. Even if she's going through a lot right now in this environmental energy, all you're doing is saying what you like about her. That's the best start you can have. That's the biggest compliment. When you notice coming from a woman's perspective, if you notice those little details about something and see in her what other people don't see, or you're noticing, just you see this light, you're seeing, it's just can even be a feeling. You make me so happy to be in your energy. That's all it has to be. Okay. And it doesn't have to be this, you're making it way more scary when it's just like, oh, just tell her how you feel. That's it. And even if it's just, you make me really, every time, you know what? I've noticed every time I'm with you, you make me so happy. I feel a way that I haven't ever felt. That's it. That's not threatening. That's not having an expectation of outcome. That's not stifling how you feel because you're not sure how she feels. This is about you learning how to express yourself regardless of the outcome. I hope that helps you, honey. I'm giving you the good luck pats here. Okay. You can do it.
All righty. Some great messages today. And we just wanted to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And especially a shout out to those who've had birthdays recently and to those first time joiners. We are so grateful that you've decided to join us and spend time. We are forever grateful. We are honored that you're with us. We are part of the same energy and community. And we are sending you lots of love. Many blessings for the weekend. We do have daily readings on Saturday and Sunday. Check those out. And we'll be with you live on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be doing more readings. All right, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. See you.
Bye.
Bye.